Sometimes during a meeting, the people in attendance get the feeling of, I don't want to be here or this is a waste of my time. This is actually very common for people to feel this way, and it's because the meeting that's being led isn't being led in a way that's effective. My name is Alex.
I'm Michaela.
I'm Carter.
And today we are going to give you some tips on how to effectively run a meeting. Before we tell you about these tips, I'm going to discuss why meetings are important. Regardless of the organization, club, or business you're involved in, meetings bring many positive aspects to a group. According to the Harvard Business Review, meetings bring about collaboration, creativity, innovation, and they foster relationships. Meetings also provide a sense of purpose and reinforce culture. On the Huffington Post website, in an article called 10 Reasons Why Effective Meetings Are So Important, creating meetings help people bring about greater levels of passion and commitment. In a quote by a pharmaceutical industry executive, he says, "An abundance of meetings is what creates the inclusive learning environment that we want to foster, and I'm okay with that." The executive then goes on to say that the alternative to meetings is more autocratic decision-making and less input from different levels and fewer opportunities for interaction. So not only is it important to effectively run a meeting, but it's important to run a meeting in the first place. Here on this slide, we've created an infographic, and this includes some tips on how to run a meeting. It's important to create an agenda and stay on schedule. It's also important to make sure that the time and place is appropriate for the occasion. Prepare handouts and test equipment before and make sure to rehearse. Don't forget to be punctual and considerate of people's time and make sure to limit distractions. Project confidence during the meeting and at the end, discuss, clarify, and recap the key points.
Some other key steps to running a meeting are to choose your topic and a purpose as to why you're having the meeting. Then you need to gather all the information needed for the meeting so that you're able to make an effective agenda. Create a detailed agenda for the meeting, breaking down the key points into more detailed subpoints, and leave a section open for questions. Make it as efficient as possible. Include the most important key points and stray away from including unnecessary details. Set expectations for yourself, the audience, and for the information that you're going to present to the audience. Choose when and where to have the meeting and decide on an occasion. Send invitations to employees. Make sure to send to each person who is supposed to be at the meeting with the time and place. Choose when and where. And choose a decision-making process. Until a decision is made, nothing can be accomplished. Make sure all information is presented so that the best decision can be made. The best meeting decisions involve all attendees, so make sure each individual feels that their opinion is valued. Polls and collaborative technology apps are popular ways to arrive to a final decision. Prepare any handouts and test equipment and technological requirements. Prepare handouts if you feel that they will help your attendees be better understand the information presented. Test the equipment and technological requirements before the actual meeting. Doing this will ensure that the technology works properly. Rehearse and say what you're going to say and how you want the information to be portrayed. Start on time and make sure that the length is appropriate. Be respectful to the attendees' time and be punctual. Make sure that you limit distractions, because if your audience is distracted, then they'll be focused on the distractions and not what information you're giving.
Now, during the meeting, make sure to stay on track. Limit questions and interruptions. This will help the meeting go fluently and it will help it to stay on track and on time. Project confidence during your meeting to limit any distractions and people can follow your voice. Limit travel. Don't pace around, don't walk too much. Just stay calm and collected. During the meeting, take minutes. That way these minutes can be sent out in emails and to follow up later. Reduce open-ended questions. This will keep your audience from getting sidetracked into other parts that aren't part of the meeting. Now, finishing up, leave time for questions because after people listening to you, they'll have questions that need to be answered. Wrap it up. Have an ending that is good, solid, and then have follow-up, which is sending out the emails of the notes and any contact you need to do afterwards. This is how you have a productive and efficient meeting, and it will help you achieve everything you need to achieve.
our sources.